Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Today, we're going to cook a turkey. It's turkey season, and for some of you, you may not have the experience, or you may not have even cooked a turkey before. And there's several different ways. There's deep frying, which is very expensive now because typically the frying oil is about $50 for a box, which is 2.5 gallons to 3 gallons of peanut oil, and that's what you would deep fry the turkey in. Then there's smoking and grilling, uh, and I plan on doing one turkey with grilling. Heads up on if you do smoke a turkey, you really need to brine the turkey or inject it with a, a brine solution. And a brine solution would be like that. And then here's the injector. It comes with this. And right now, it's available for about under $5 for this right here. And what this does, it injects a lot of flavor into the turkey meat. And you want to do this at least 24 hours before you do the smoking or you cook it on the grill. And so that way the flavors can be absorbed into the flesh of the turkey and become much more flavorful. And then that's the inside. And then for the outside of a turkey, I like to use this one, and it gives a nice flavor to the outside and puts a nice crust on it. And so with a grilled turkey, your skin, the outer skin, will be a little more crunchy and rather than moist. Whereas in a oven, if you've never cooked a turkey in an oven, it can be quite daunting if you don't know what you're doing. And so anyway, I have a turkey roaster, and I'm preheating it right now to 400 degrees, and we're going to do 400 degrees for the first 1 hour in the turkey roaster. And the same thing goes for your inside the oven. And the reason why you want to do that, you want to get a real hot outer seal on the skin and seal in the flavors of the turkey. And so what we're going to do with this turkey here, this is a butterball turkey. And I got this yesterday through Amazon Fresh. And it was one of 3 turkeys that I bought. This is my season testing turkey. That's what I call it. It's my test turkey before the actual day. That way I know that everything's going to come out right and correct. I'm not going to have a disaster on Thanksgiving Day. And so anyway, we're going to prepare this in a traditional fashion for the oven. And so that means we're going to, well, number one, we're not going to be stuffing this bird. This bird will be prepped and ready for the roasting oven. And so anyway, what we want to do, we want to coat the outside of the turkey with a nice oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, uh, any anything. Even what I love is olive oil. Olive oil works really well. Gives kind of a buttery flavor to it. And then we're going to use a traditional herb rub on this. And what I've done, I've already made the rub right here. It's already made, and so all I have to do is just put it on and then rub it into the skin. But the ingredients are pretty simple. In a previous video, I showed you some of the things that the the herbs that I use. So here's 2 of them, sage and thyme. I love this. It gives a very nice aromatic smell to the home while it's cooking, and very seasonal and and it stirs a lot of great memories. Just these 2 seasonings. Or if you want to save time and you're not going to buy in large bulk like I do, poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning in a small bottle. They're about $8 to $9 for that, and it has the same thing. Thyme, sage, and rosemary are the predominant herbs in a poultry mix. And so I've already ordered rosemary. And then one of the things with the rosemary, since all of these are ground, what you'll need to do, you also need to grind the rosemary. And so that way it doesn't have the large chunks. You want a coarse grind on it. And so that's where a coffee grinder is going to be very helpful for chopping up the rosemary. And it's the oils inside the rosemary that you want to really get onto the turkey. So anyway, I'm going to turn this around and we're going to prep this turkey ready for cooking. Okay, now this is a 12-pound turkey right here, which feeds about 6 to 8 people typically. And so what I like to do to keep it from burning, because we want to seal in the flavors, and so I spray on an oil just to wet the surface, and then gives something gives the herbs something to grip onto, and also the salt. So once you sprayed it down, I like to kind of spread it around with a brush to make sure I got a good coverage on a majority of the turkey, and that everything will stick properly. Inside the turkey, one of the things that you should check for is to make sure that all the packets, I believe there's usually a giblet packet and the neck. So here's the neck. I want to take that neck out, and there's no giblet packet in there, so it might be up in the front here, because they usually, yep, and there it is. Nope, there's not. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. That's the giblet packet. And so anyway, we have oil on all of that. And so I'm going to rinse my hands here real quick so that we can start putting on the herb rub. And we're going to sprinkle on the herb rub and get good coverage everywhere. What we're going to do first, we're going to put the rub inside of the bird. So all of these areas here, what we want to do, we want to get good rub, good amount of our turkey poultry mix rub inside of the turkey. And then that way it's going to be real flavorful. It gets real flavorful that way. Now this is the messy portion right here. That's why I like to do the mix in a plastic bag, because I'm not going to keep using it, and you don't want to reuse it, especially in poultry. You want to mix it for the one-time use and get it applied. So we put everything back in. We got the flavoring inside the carcass. Now we're going to put the legs back in place. I'm going to rinse my hands again. I want to get rid of some of that oil. I don't want all that oil on my hands, and everything really starts sticking. And you really need to do this by hand. You can't use a spoon or anything, because you got to make sure you get good coverage, and you want to feel, and look at how your coverage is. You want to make sure you get good cover of everything. Let me see. Yeah, it sticks real nice there. So we're just going to put a lot of flavor on here. And this gives it a texture and a crust that is just second to none. Uh, an herb crust. If you never have had an herb crusted turkey, you are missing out. And this is so flavorful. We want to get inside all the different areas, make sure that we get a lot of flavor put into the bird. And the nice thing about the herbs, you can't really overdo it too much. And this makes the bird really aromatic. I mean, very, very aromatic and real flavorful. It gives it a nice natural flavor versus all the different spices. So you don't have a lot of spices on this. You're just cooking it with an herb rub. And so this is now ready to go into our oven. So we're going to check on the oven, make sure it's up to temperature. We'll be right back. Okay, the turkey roaster is now at 400 degrees. And so what we're going to do first is you want to make sure that the turkey does not sit on the bottom of the turkey roaster. So I put a rack in there, as you see. If you're going to use the foil pan or an oven steel pan oven roaster, once you get the turkey in there, what you want to do is also put at least 1 can of chicken stock, chicken broth, into the aluminum pan. And then you want to seal it up with aluminum foil all around the top. So good aluminum foil, double width. And then once you've made the double width cover, put it onto the aluminum, seal it all in, and into the oven it goes. But with a turkey roaster, you don't need to do that. And so we're just going to take the turkey right here and go right into the roaster. And so the other parts of the turkey, the neck and the giblets, a lot of people like to use the giblets for gravy. I don't use that, but I usually cook that in a way so that my dog has a treat along with the turkey neck. And so anyway, turkey is in the roaster. We're going to cover it up. We're going to come back in an hour. And what I'm going to do, because this is a roaster, I want the drippings to come out of the turkey right now, because butterballs have an injection into the bird, and we want to drain the excess fluids out of the bird, number one, and then that way the bird can cook properly. But those flavors that drip down, we don't want them to completely evaporate, because this will evaporate it. I've made, last month, I bought a lot of chicken, and so I kept the chicken stock. This is homemade chicken stock, and so it has the salt already in there, has the chicken fats. You see the chicken fat right there. And we're going to be putting this entire jar that I saved into the roaster in about an hour. And then that's going to provide the moisture to keep the bird from drying out. And it's going to be an incredible bird when it finishes out in about 4 hours. So, but we're only going to do 400 for 1 hour, 1 hour only. And then after that, we're going to turn it back to 325. And at 325, that's where it'll continue to cook for the rest of the day, or for the next 3 hours after that. And we're going to be checking on it regularly to see its progress. So we'll see you back in about an hour. Okay, it's been about a little more than an hour right now. So we're going to take a look at, and that's looking real good right there. And so right now, um, the reason why we wanted to start off with 400 degrees is because the turkey, the body, the carcass itself, is going to absorb a lot of the the heat, the temperature, and so that's why we want 400. Now we're going to baste the bird a little bit, and this is some of the uh, some of the uh, leftover brine that I had from cooking, boiling turkey, or not turkey, chicken, the chicken legs, and that's how I made this broth right here. And so, what we're going to do, we're going to pour a majority of that into here, and then we're going to baste the turkey with this, and then this also sets up the base for your gravy, and that's what you want. You want a good base for your gravy, and we're going to moisten the turkey so it doesn't dry out. This is why we had uh, basted or had covered the turkey with oil earlier, and so this is right now looking real good. Yeah, I mean it smells incredible right now, and so a lot of the flavors are going to drip out of the turkey from the juices and the brine that was already injected into the turkey during the processing. And now, uh, while it's cooking, it's going to cook slowly. We're going to lose probably about a third of the size from the moisture. But now that we added moisture in, the bird's not going to dry out at all, because once we put the top back on, it becomes a wet environment, a hot, wet environment. And so we're going to keep it right now high because the temperature. I use a temperature probe here and check the uh, the internal inside of the temperature of the pan here, and it wasn't 300 degrees. It was just under 300. So that tells me that the body was absorbing a lot of the temperature and the heat, because the heat is going to come up, and we want an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So we're going to be looking at for 165 degrees here in the breast area and also the thigh area. Those are the thickest meat portions, and we want to make sure that they're cooked. So we're going to come back again a few times and baste the turkey. But when we come back for the final time, you'll see the finished turkey. And then what you want to do is let the turkey rest outside on a platter for about 15 to 30 minutes to cool off so that you can actually cut it. And then that way, you want to really debone it from the carcass entirely, especially if you're going to put it into the refrigerator. And so you can put it either into uh, glass containers, Tupperware, things like that, or you do like me, and I just get a whole lot of these Ziploc bags and put them in the Ziploc bags. And I use the breast portion for sandwiches throughout the week or the time, and so those are the uh, the times that I really look forward to this year, the turkey sandwiches, and so um, this is a good time of the year. Turkeys have really good pricing right now. As right now, Food Max, a lot of people have been telling me it's 39 cents a pound for turkey, and that's a really good price for turkey. It's not a butterball, but a house brand, and there's nothing wrong with house brands. If you're going to uh, use the house brand, then that's where the injection uh, comes in real good. These, this comes in real good for adding flavor into those frozen house brand turkeys, because normally they have very little flavor in them, and you have to do some work to add some flavor. And so, anyway, I use the Zatarain's Cajun Injector Creole butter for turkeys. And this is really good if you deep fry turkeys uh, or you even oven bake a turkey. But especially so if you're going to smoke the turkey, you really want to inject some extra brine and flavor into the bird. So we'll come back when this is done and you'll see the finished product. Okay, it's been 2 hours. On a small bird, you don't want to overcook it. And that, oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That came out really nice. And so 2 hours, see the nice herb crust on there, and the meat is pulled away from the bone, so that's letting you know that it's fully cooked. The wing, yeah, that's already starting to fall off the bird. So we probably could have cooked this for about 15 to 20 minutes less. And this is at 2 hours. So just note that when you're cooking at 325, that a smaller bird, this is a 12-pound bird, cooks at about hour and a half. When you cook at started out the first hour at 400, and then you reduce the heat, baste the bird, put some more of the herb crusting on there, put the lid back on for the last half hour, turning the heat back to 325. And this is what you get. So I'm going to zoom it in so that you can see. Doesn't that look nice? That's a nice herb crusting right there. And you can see right there the meat is already pulling away from the bone. So this is a really well cooked turkey. And the juices, the juices in the bottom of the pan, this right here, don't throw that away. That's your gravy. Now what you want to do, you want to put that into a separate pan and add butter. And what you're going to do after that is add a cornstarch solution to thicken it. And then that's how you get real nice natural gravy. Or if you're not sure and you want to have a sure thing, you can always get this. And these are not cheap. These are $3.49 a bottle, and that's for 12 ounces. So this is expensive. This is cheap, and you can make it. Make your own chicken broth, your own chicken stock, by simply boiling some chicken, and the boiled chicken can be used for other meals or even feeding your pet after deboning. So anyway, we're going to let this rest for a little bit, and then this is going to be for the evening dinner. But I may be carving off some of the breast right up here and making some fresh turkey sandwiches. Thanks for joining me today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and we'll see you in the holidays.